terrorism somewhere, it would attack you in the other place. So this is a very important and crucial file between the two countries. Another file I think that's very important is the mutual relations between Egypt and Russia.
On the political and economic levels?
On both levels, yes. On the political level, there is another common file between Russia and Egypt. I think it's the Syrian file. Both of them has a very similar stance from what's happening in Syria. Russia supported Assad's regime since the very beginning. Egypt was, on the sideline, was not supporting Assad and was not supporting the opposition and the militias. Both actually, there are some opposition and some militias in Jews, yes. So Egypt was on a bilateral, was very neutral on this level. But both countries agree that nothing would go correctly and would work for the country except a political solution. Because none of the political players in the Syrian scene can win everything. It's not going to happen, and it will continue. So this situation is very important. Maybe it's a little bit, it used to be very different than the Saudi stance from what's happening in Syria, the Syrian crisis. Now Saudi started to realize, and some other Gulf states started to realize that it's important to it's not about, accepting the Assad's regime. It's about rejecting his militias, and it has to be a political solution, gathering everything. Otherwise, it will turn up to a mess in the whole region, and it will be at the doors of all the Gulf countries.
And back to Al-Ahram, and we read from its front page. President Sisi says to Europe's stability depends on the Egyptian security. In an extended interview with a German magazine, Der Spiegel, the president says what we call a coup is our second revolution, and if we did not interfere, we would have then given up on our historic and moral responsibilities. He said that our judiciary is independent, and it is of great importance that the West does not look to itself as the only side with independent judiciary. The religious speech must be changed, and I shall always address that issue no matter the risks are. Our war on terrorism started a year and a half ago, and if we lose it, the whole region will be affected for the next 15 years. Yesterday we have witnessed an interview from President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to Der Spiegel, and also Nafisa El Sabagh tackled the same issue. As Sisi says, if 1 million protested against the ruler, he should step down immediately. The president says to Der Spiegel, not dealing firmly with terrorism means that the region and Europe will be at war for the next 15 years. President Sisi gives an interview with a Russian television and TASS news agency. The interview focuses on the Egyptian-Russian relations following the June 30th revolution and efforts to further enhance the bilateral ties. The president tackles his vision on the recent developments in Egypt and the whole region, hailing the Gulf countries' positive stance towards Egypt. We have seen the interviews yesterday that were conducted with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to both Der Spiegel and the Russian television. So how do you read these statements concerning the fight against terrorism and the fact that the security of Egypt is crucial to the whole region?
To me, it's very true. The security of Egypt and the stability in Egypt is important to the whole world, not only the region, because the region is actually important to the whole world. So it's very important, and I'm totally with this. But it's about how to achieve security in Egypt. it's not about only combating terrorism in Sinai and in the region. It's also about keeping the people unified from inside. Keeping them unified, and it's not about keeping them one, by the way. They should have been, of course, very different differences, and at the same time they have common goals, common rules among them, that we are combating terrorism, but we still need some development inside. Security and stability is not going to be achieved unless there are some very new rules for a new state. Part of this new state to be built after two revolutions is actually the judiciary independence. Our judiciary have so many problems, the system in general, and so many judges have been talked about all the details, and they have drafted a very important and excellent law for judiciary independence. It's not only independence from the executive authority, it's also independence from the police. It's also independence in regarding to applying the verdicts. So where is this law? The Brotherhood did not want to apply this law because they did not want a real independent judiciary. So where is it now? We have issued more than 200 laws, and we didn't issue this one. Well, it's very crucial, it's very important, it's very needed. Now, day after the other, we have so many question marks regarding some verdicts. Yes, I can understand that the procedures and the law and the sentia verdicts can be too tough. But what is the impression that's being given to the Egyptians also? It's not but to the international community or to the world. I do care for the Egyptians themselves. When you have a small dispute with your neighbor, will you be able to trust a judge when a suspect or a convicted person talks to him? He says, okay, I'll give you another 3 years extra. Can you believe this is real? No one would respect such a process.
And we move to Al-Ahram and we read the crowds and clashes on the first day of the nomination for the parliament. The High Electoral Committee begins receiving candidacy papers or the upcoming parliamentary elections. Candidates in all government rates begin submitting their papers. On the same issue made the main banner of Al-Masri 3 steps towards the future. 700 candidates for the House of Representatives on the first day of applying for the elections. Working hours last between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Cairo local time, and for a period of 10 days starting on Sunday. The candidate continued to undergo the required medical test. A prerequisite to apply the first round of the elections is set to be held on the 22nd and 23rd of March, while the second round will be held on the 26th and 27th. We have seen yesterday the start of the candidates to submit the papers and applying for the elections. The medical tests were starting to be taken. So how do you read the preparations ahead of the upcoming parliamentary elections in March?
Actually, I see it's going in very unfortunate, and to me it's gloomy future, because the situation in Egypt is getting more complicated every day, and the political scene is very much disturbed exactly the same way the security scene is, maybe even more. The political scene in Egypt is worse than the security scene. New rules have been set to rebuild the post-revolution state that the president is talking about all the time. and he is keep talking that no return to the past. No procedures has been taken to set new rules for the future so that the past does not come up again. And what we witness is that the major person who created the worst politics ever during Mubarak's regime, and that helped actually the fall of Mubarak's regime after the revolution, Ahmed Aziz, had the right to be to run for the elections. To me, yes, legally and theoretically he had the right. No one can.
Don't you think this is that the people has the right to reject that these people or those people, if they are not willing to witness that again, it has to be the choice of the people.
To me, it's the choice of the people. The people choose to get rid of Mubarak. They choose to fasten the first transitional period and the move to election to end the SCAF ruling period. They have chosen to overthrow Morsi. They have chosen to elect a Sisi. The hopes after electing the Sisi were to build a new state. It has not happened either after removing Mubarak. It has not been achieved during the SCAF. It has not achieved during Morsi. People hoped to achieve it during Sisi's presidency. What's happening, it's not about the right, let him go, and the people would reject him. This is logic, but if you have set a new rule and you paved a new way for the future of Egypt, he would not dare to run these elections. It's not about, his decision to run or not, his winning or not. It's about how dare you. You are still being tried for stealing people. The very same laws made by Mubarak's regime to protect corruption are the same laws we are using now to try them, or in order to punish them for their corruption. They have protected it by law. We didn't have new laws, and we didn't effectuate even the legal system we have to punish them.
Indeed, Ms. Nafisa El Sabagh, the journalist and chief editor of Masriyat, thank you very much for your input. And now we are moving to a short break, and after that we'll be back with our first segments of the breakfast show, so don't go away.